In this video, we're going to have a look at the changes to Microsoft's DP-700 exam in April 2025. Hello, I'm Philip Burton of idodata.com. Microsoft's DP-700 Fabric Data Engineer Associate exam is for you if you want to demonstrate your ability with Microsoft Fabric. You will be manipulating and transforming data using SQL, PySpark, and KQL. You will be ingesting and transforming data, securing and managing, and monitoring and optimizing an analytic solution. Now, these certifications are reviewed on roughly a 2-monthly schedule, and any changes that are made are notified with a few weeks in advance. So these changes will be made as of April the 21st. So let's have a look at the requirements for the DP-700 by going into the study guide. So these are the individual requirements, and here we can see the first of 4 changes, and 2 of the changes are fairly minor. So in addition to implementing file-level access controls, you'll also be implementing folder-level access controls. And then if I scroll down, in addition to choosing between dataflows, notebooks, and T-SQL for data transformation, you will also be looking at KQL for data transformation. So these 2 changes are relatively minor. The 2 major changes are firstly under the Configure Security and Governance, implement and use Workspace login. And secondly, under Ingest and Transform Streaming Data, choose between native storage, followed storage, or shortcuts in real-time intelligence. So let's have a look first of all at implementing and using Workspace login. Well, to implement it, you'd go to a workspace and go to Workspace Settings, go to the Monitoring tab and click Plus Event House. So that will turn on Workspace Monitoring. Now, you will need to have a tenant setting and some permissions to be able to do that. Once you have done that, if we go into the Workspace Settings and Monitoring, you can see we can log Workspace activity on or off. We can delete the monitoring event house and KQL database, and we've also got a link to the KQL database. Now, if I scroll down, you can see that it is called the monitoring event house, monitoring event stream, and monitoring KQL database. So if I go to the event house, here you can see that we have got a monitoring KQL database which has got multiple tables, but it's these first 5 which are the important ones, as these contain the logs. So you will be required to know some of the details of these individual tables, what they do, and maybe some of the fields which are common to most of them. Now, there are 2 more user-friendly ways to use these monitoring logs. One of them is in a Power BI report that you can download into Power BI Desktop and then publish into your workspace. And the other is a real-time dashboard. And you can see both of these have got multiple pages for semantic models and for event houses. So knowledge of these 2 dashboards would indeed help for implementing and using Workspace logging. If we now go to choosing between native storage, followed storage, or shortcuts in real-time intelligence, first of all, native storage. That is data that you have ingested using, for example, an event stream and then an event house and a KQL database. Followed storage, we're talking here about database shortcuts, also known as followers. So these are KQL databases or Azure Data Explorer databases that you want to have as a shortcut in a KQL database, and then you can query it in that database. So if I go into a KQL database, here we have got a database shortcut or follower, and I can add one by clicking on the plus next to KQL databases. So here is my new follower database, and the type is a new shortcut database. Click Next. We then copy the URI from the database, so this can be found here. So you can paste this web address here and then select the database and how long data is going to be retained in the cache. Once you have done that, it then gets shown here. And you can click on this follower database as well to go to it. Or alternatively, I can query it using database and then in brackets or parentheses and then in speech marks or apostrophes or single or double quotation marks, the name of the follower database, and then either .table and then the name of the table in brackets and speech or quote marks, or alternatively, just the name of the table. Both of these will work. Now, the other type of shortcut is a shortcut to either data which is in an internal source, so we're talking here OneLake, or an external source. If I go to Database, New, OneLake Shortcut, you can see the external sources are Amazon S3, S3 compatible, Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2, Dataverse from the Power Platform, and Google Cloud Storage. So if you click on one, if it's an external source, you would enter your connection and then you would select the individual table that you want to be included in your shortcut. And you can reference this in the KQL code using external_table and then the name of the table in brackets or parentheses and single or double quotation marks. So these are the changes that are being made to the DP-700 exam. And the new topics are choosing between native followed storage or shortcuts in real-time intelligence, and implementing and using Workspace logging. Now, if you'd like some assistance on how to learn the topics you need for the DP-700 exam, then please go to our website, idodata.com. If you then go to Fabric and DP-700, here you can see our course. And it's been fully updated with the April 2025 changes. There are 3 videos on Workspace login and a new video on choosing between native storage, followed storage, or shortcuts in real-time intelligence. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, then please give it a like. And why not subscribe and click that bell? That way you'll be notified of any new videos. If you want more information about the DP-700, then please click on the video on the end screen. I'm Philip Burton of idodata.com. Thanks for watching and keep learning.